Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to hear it loud. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the best afternoons for all of us. Yes. And yes, I have seen so many faces whom I have met in different parts of the world. I have my friends from Japan, from Vietnam, from Iran, from Dubai, from India, from US, all across the globe, from Africa. We have a lot of friends here from all across the globe. And I have met so many of you earlier also, and there are many new faces too. So before we go ahead, how exactly our journey began and what exactly we are doing, I'll give you a brief introduction about QuickX to all the people who are new here and who don't know what QuickX is doing. So starting with the presentation, what exactly QuickX is doing, I'll briefly tell you about me. I am Shindajat Lakha, COO and founder of QuickX. I have been speaking at multiple conferences all across the globe in the field of cybersecurity and blockchain. And recently I was honored with a doctorate degree in blockchain and was also appointed as global brand ambassador for blockchain for the university. The university is based out of the United States and they honored with a doctorate to me recently. And these are few of the conferences where I have been going to in the last few months. And talking about the company which started QuickX, I have seen that many companies have come in last few months in the blockchain era stating that they are gonna do revolution. They are gonna bring something great. But in actual it does not happen. Why? There are certain reasons for it. I'll just take a general scenario. Whenever we talk about investing in any blockchain idea or any blockchain company, there are few things which we need to take care of. First of the thing is, what exactly is the idea? I'll give a very beautiful example. I give you an idea of making a time machine. It's a great idea. So let's make the time machine and invest in a company making a time machine. Will you do that? How many of you will invest in the company making a time machine? No one. Why? Because the idea seems great, but it is not feasible. Feasibility of idea is also very important. Talking about us in QuickX, I'll give you background of the company. We started a cybersecurity company in 2010. And in 2015, we were in top 5 cybersecurity companies of country India. 2016, we were in top 5 cyber forensics companies. 2017, we were in 25 fastest tech growing companies, and also we got an honor to get awarded by Vice President of the country. So when we talk on stage about something, when we talk about technology, we know we talk sense. We don't talk about ridiculous ideas which are not possible. We talk about the technology, what we believe in, what we can build. And these are few of the clients with whom we have worked. We have worked with clients from SMEs to Fortune 500 companies in last 10 years. And when we talk about cryptos, a quick clap. How many of you knows about Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin? Just give me a quick clap. Okay, great. Almost everybody did a clap. Now, how many of you can actually, in a case of emergency, at 2 a.m., go to a hospital and pay your bill directly giving Bitcoin to the hospital? How many of you can do that? No claps. So this is exactly what we figured out, that cryptos, when they came into existence, they came as parallel currencies. But are we treating cryptos as currencies? No. We are treating cryptos as assets. We are just holding Bitcoins and other cryptos to make sure when the price goes up, we sell them. This is not a currency which we are using right now. But when we saw the same thing, why people are not able to use cryptos as a real currency? What is actually hindering the mass adoption of cryptos? We started working on the protocol called QuickX protocol. So we started our research and we started working on QuickX protocol in 2016 after we discovered these problems. First problem is the time and the speed. The basic problem which we always face with Bitcoin transaction is the time and the speed. Just imagine a scenario. You are going to a cafe, ordering a hot coffee and doing transaction in Bitcoin. By the transaction gets complete, your hot coffee is going to become a cold coffee. It takes a lot of time for a transaction to get complete. So I cannot go to a coffee shop and buy coffee using my cryptos. The second problem was the transaction cost. When a lot of people are doing transactions simultaneously, there is a huge network congestion. And there were times for micro payments, for a transaction of just $5, you ended up paying $5 as transaction fees. So practically, I'm not going to spend for a $5 product and paying $5 fees additional. The third problem which we saw was the scalability. Now when we talk about scalability, I always compare blockchain speed with a centralized system. Decentralized to the centralized. In centralized, PayPal can handle 193 transactions per second. Visa has a capacity of 56,000 transactions per second. But when we talk about blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain can handle just 7 transactions per second. Ethereum blockchain can handle just 15 to 20 transactions per second. So when I'm comparing with 56,000 transactions to 7 transactions, why do I need blockchain? This is one of the major hindrances. After that, cross-chain transfers. Now, if I have any crypto and I wanted to do a transaction with somebody holding another crypto, how am I going to do that? Either I'm going to use some platform or an exchange to make the transaction happen, or I'm going to use Changely, Shapeshift or something else to make the transaction happen, which is a time-taking, tedious and a costly process. So these were the major hindrances which we found. Due to these, people are not able to use cryptos as a day-to-day currency. So what is the solution? So the solution we came up with is the QuickX protocol. I'm not going to go deep into the tech details, but I'm going to explain you in a very simple layman language what exactly we are doing. Let us compare technology. Let us go sometime back. How exactly banking transaction happened? Let us go towards the banking transaction. If you have an account in bank, Citibank, and your friend also has an account in the same bank, same branch, Citibank, you open your system and make an online transfer of $100,000. What exactly happens? The bank manager immediately goes in the line, fills up the form, withdraws cash, then again fills up the form, goes into the line and deposits in your account. Does it actually happen? No, it doesn't happen. The transaction happened instantly. Now, you transfer that $100,000 to another person. That another person transfers to some other person. That other person gives the transfer to me. Now, I go to an ATM and withdraw $500 cash. In the entire system where numbers were flowing, the first real transaction happened. Rest, all the transactions were just being written in an Oracle database at the back end. They were the commitment transactions. They were not the real transactions. So commitment transactions are possible in blockchain also. So we are using commitment transactions to solve the purpose of same blockchain assets. This gives us the solution for Bitcoin to Bitcoin, Ether to Ether. But it does not provide us a solution for Bitcoin to Ether or cross-chain. This does not provide us a solution. For that, we are using the same methodology what is being used by internet today. Go back in the time when internet was not there and intranet was there. Take example of a building, a complete building, 100 computers, all connected to each other through wires. They can make the transfer in the same building easily. Take example of another building, 100 computers in that building. They can make transfers in the same building easily. But what if building 1 wants to send a file to building 2? There is no way. So at that particular time, ISPs came into existence, internet service providers. They came over there, they took the files from building 1 and securely gave the files to the designated person in the building 2. Just replace building 1 with blockchain 1, building 2 with blockchain 2, and internet service provider with the pooling facilitators. So this is exactly what we are doing. The same methodology, what internet used earlier, we are using in blockchain right now. So with this, we will be able to make the transactions seamless, costless, and super fast, so that we can use crypto in daily life. Now, when we talk about what exactly is the opportunity in blockchain, a lot of people said that this is a bubble. A lot of people said the same thing for internet era too. That internet is going to burst. Internet is not going to survive at all. But we all know where we have internet today. These are the stats of just one wallet. That is a blockchain wallet. When we talk about blockchain wallet, by 2020, they will have more than 100 million users. I'm not talking about whole blockchain community. I'm just talking about one wallet stats. They'll have 100 million users by 2020. And if you compare the internet graph with crypto user graph, it is going exactly the same. Presently, we are in 1994 of internet. So you can very well imagine what exactly is the opportunity for us in the future. At this stage, when less than 1% of the whole world knows about blockchain, we are lucky enough that we know much better than anybody else. Okay, I'll ask you a simple question. If given a chance, I simply say, I'm gonna give you shares of a company called Amazon. 10,000 shares at a price, the same price at which it was launched. But I'm giving it to you today. How many of you would like to buy it immediately? Give me a clap. Nobody would love to miss the opportunity. But when actually shares of Amazon came in, nobody bought it because they were not trusting in the technology. The same thing is happening in blockchain. When somebody says that in blockchain we are going to bring revolution, we say, no, nothing is going to happen. But it is happening now. It is up to us whether we want to lead the revolution or we want to follow it later. I'll give you an example which happened with me recently. My father told me a few years ago that why are you using Facebook? It is entirely waste of time. You should not use Facebook. This is nothing. After a few years, Facebook will be entirely banned. Nobody will use it. I said, Dad, you have to move with the technology. It is a good communication method. Few weeks ago, I got a friend request from my dad. So either you be a part of the revolution or you follow it later. Why you have to do that? If you are still stuck with a small phone which used to come 10 years ago and you're still sticking with the SMS part, try it in real life. SMS to your 10 friends. I'm in an emergency, I need your help. See how many people respond. WhatsApp this to 10 people. I'm in an emergency. Respond. Out of the 9 people will immediately call you. Because people are now moved towards WhatsApp. They are not using the old technology. So it is up to us. We are going to use the same old technology or we are going to upgrade. What do you want to do? You want to use the same old phones or you want to have a smartphone now? What do you want to have? So blockchain is going to be the next big thing. Okay. Now, when we started working on bringing the technology to life, a lot of people started asking us, how you are going to bring the products. I gave an example of Amazon. As a user, what do I know about Amazon? I open the website amazon.com. After opening the website, I add products in the cart. I make the payment. The products get delivered to my home. That's it. This is what I know as a user. But what exactly is going in the back end? Are they hosted on AWS? What database they are using? MongoDB, SQL, Oracle? What language the website is built on? Do I, as a user, care about that? No. I don't. I only understand what I need to see. So in spite of building a beautiful technology, if there are no applications to it, it is waste. So we started working on building applications for public too, so that people can see it. It is a saying, what you see is what you believe. If you don't see it, you don't believe it. If I say, but there are some things we need to believe, I say, okay, there is air. You don't see it, but you believe it. But in terms of technology, in terms of products, when you see it, then only you will believe it. So we said that we'll come up with a multi-currency wallet. So we came up with a multi-currency wallet. After that, we said we'll come up with multi-currency debit cards, cryptocurrency swap, and a payment gateway. Now, when we said that we'll come up with a multi-currency wallet, a lot of people said, okay, it's a wallet which you have built. Nothing rocket science. There are many other wallets in the world too. What exactly you are different than others? We said, okay, fine, it's a normal wallet, multi-currency wallet. Hold on, we have something good coming for you. Then we came up with a very beautiful product. That is world's slimmest and easiest to use hardware wallet. For all the people who are holding cryptocurrencies, they know how hard it is to secure your currencies, because it is worth millions and multi-millions. And a lot of people are holding cryptos in hardware wallets. There are few hardware wallets, not to name any, but they are not very easy to use. You have to connect it to your laptop, then you have to connect to a bridge, after that you have to open Ether wallet, then finally you can have access to your funds. But we know, when we are in technology, I don't want to waste 15-20 minutes. I don't know, last time when I opened my laptop to do something, I am heading to phones right now. So I wanted something for phones. There was no solution available for phones, which was very easy. So we came up with this solution. And you want to see how easy it is to use this wallet. You want to see that? Yes. Okay, great. I'll show it to you. We don't have to do anything. It's a smartphone, Android based. I just need to touch my wallet at the back of the phone. When I touch my wallet to the back of the phone, an application pops up and it asks for my password. I'll authenticate with my finger. When I authenticate it, it is asking me to re-authenticate the card. I'll touch the card again. When I touch the card again, it says the card is red. Please wait for a moment. The card is detected and now the balance is being updated. So in less than 10 seconds, I am able to see all my funds in my phone. And this is not only it. When we say we have got the world's slimmest hardware wallet, a lot of question comes towards security of it. So this is not only the slimmest one. This is slimmest, smartest and securest. How? The chips are being manufactured by Samsung. It's EAL all 5-star, which is for the security for chipset. One of the only cards to have KCMBP test passed, and only card in the world to have FIDO1 and FIDO2 certification. So when we brought this card to life, lot many people wanted to have this card. So yes, we started white labeling it to different companies also. We have white labeled it to many companies till now. and the card is already working, it is live and many people are already using it. So this is one of the product, but before that let us go towards the presentation. This is another product that we have, an application, Android application, the mobile wallet. If you don't want to have the hardware wallet, you have the mobile application where you can store your currencies in a decentralized manner. And what exactly QuickX is bringing to life? Like how exactly QuickX is going to bring changes in the life of people? At present, if somebody is doing a transaction from Bitcoin to Ether, if a person uses a platform like Changely, Shift or any other platform, a user pays $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and in the end they receive only $995 worth of Ethers. Rest is taken care by the fees and the transaction takes a lot of time to happen. But with QuickX protocol, the transaction happen instantly and with next to zero cost. So when we talk about the competitive advantage, we have few competitors too, but not to go better into the details, we have the best transaction cost, that is the least transaction cost and the fastest speed. So talking about the crypto product which I told you, that we have the hardware wallet, which is one of the world's slimmest and easiest to use hardware wallet. When we brought this, people started asking questions to us. Okay, so this was the card you were talking about in the roadmap. We meant that you are going to talk about some multi-currency wallet, which we can spend in the market too. How we are bringing cryptos to life. This is yet another way to store the cryptos, but not to spend it. This was the question which started coming. We said, hold on, we have a lot of things to come up with. So then we came up with a solution for people. We came up with a solution, a very beautiful solution, that was some crypto debit cards. When we told people that yes, we have got crypto debit cards, with which you can load bitcoins and you can use it in day-to-day life. You can withdraw money through ATMs, you can go to the shopping mall, you can shop products, you can use it in day-to-day life. People were still not happy. You know why? They said Union Pay is not accepted in our country. What to do? I got this question from India, from Iran and few other countries. What exactly do we need to have? Union Pay is not accepted. What exactly do we need to do? We said, okay, hold on, we have something else too. Then we came up with a beautiful solution with the help of Dato and few other friends of Dato. That's a very beautiful solution we came up with. That was a MasterCard. Now, when we got the MasterCard also, people still started asking a lot of questions. The solution is good, but not the best. Why don't you talk to Visa? Why don't you have Visa with you? People are never happy, they always want everything. If you give them something, they want more. If you give them something more, they want more. So when I said, okay, let us just work on something. We thought about it a lot. We started working on a solution. And yes, we found out a solution. What is the solution we found out with Visa? If you are holding any Visa card in your pocket, I mean any Visa card in your pocket issued by any bank in the world, I'll give you my portal, load in your card details over there, load Bitcoin, spend money through your Visa card. So when we talk about this solution, presently we in the entire world have this solution. Not only this, we are working on a very beautiful solution more. See, we always want to progress ahead. We don't want to stick to one thing. Okay, we have done it, let us just stick to it. No, we always want more. Just like you, we in the company, we also want more. We are working on, the test run is about to be conducted very soon. We are working on different countries' contactless ATMs. You go to an ATM without any card, just your phone. enter the details. You will get OTP on your phone. Put in the OTP. Bitcoin will be sold. You get the cash. So, with QuickX, we want to be the fastest payment protocol and we want to give you every solution with crypto payments. So, these are the products which we have, the cards which I showed you, and another product. This is the product which in our roadmap we say will come in December 2019. Yes. But I am proud to say that we have already made our payment gateway live. Not only this, this payment gateway can be used by any website in the world to accept crypto payments, any store in the world to accept cryptos through an application will do the fiat conversion. And I'm also very proud to say that in Dubai, we are going to have one coffee shop accepting crypto payments entirely powered by QuickX. So that is going to be the first coffee shop in Dubai to have crypto payment gateway by QuickX. Not only this, we are coming up with another beautiful product. Okay, how many of you are wearing smartwatches? Just give me a clap. How many of you are wearing smartwatches? Okay, what is the average cost of a smartwatch that you wear? In dollars, 40,000 comes out to be approximately $600. Around $600, $500, $600. Okay, so even after spending $500, $600 on a smartwatch, what exactly do I get? I can sync it to my phone. I can keep a track on the calories, how much calories I'm burning. I can see the time. I can change the screen color every day. These are the features I get. But what is the output you get? Nothing. So we figured it out and we are coming up with world's first crypto mining watch. So with this, the more calories you are going to burn, the more cryptos you are going to earn. So for people like me who are gaining weight, it's a good motivation to lose weight now. Okay. So not only this, this is not it. There is something else. I discussed this idea with few of my colleagues, but I told them that we are not going to make any official announcement till the time we have the prototype with us. So now, when we have got the prototype with us, I can make the official announcement what exactly we are going to do now. Apart from the products which we already have and the products which we are already in the loop. Our team already knows that we only talk about the products when we have things in hand. Yes. We never say things in advance, okay, we are going to do this in future, because everybody talks about future. Nobody talks about present, what you have in hand. We always talk about, okay, this is something we have, this is the next target, we have achieved it, this is the next target. So talking about the next product, what do we have it? These are the products which you use right now. Apple phones, Android phones and Windows phone. Very soon, everybody here will be holding QuickX blockchain phones. So this is something which we are coming up with very soon and I am announcing it today because we have got the prototype ready. Okay. And when we talk about building so many beautiful products, it is not just me who do that. We have a whole team who do it. This is the team, the core team we have. And we have the CEO, Mr. Vaibhav here, who's very good into finances. Whenever something comes up into technology, everything comes up to me. When something comes up into finance, somebody asks me a question, my straight away point is, can we do it? So when the note comes, we say yes, we can do it. So he's a very good guy in finance who has worked with Ameriprise, one of the biggest financial company. He's a CFP, Certified Financial CFA Level 1. and apart from that, a certified stock market expert, derivative market expert, and he has done a lot of things in finance. I can't even name the certifications which he have got in finance. And rest of the team we have who have the experience in the field, like huge experience in the field. So we have them. And not only this, we have got a very good powerful advisory board, which includes John Daly, who is the former finance minister of Malta and also the European Union Commissioner. He is helping us from the very starting of the project. And it is not that we have put in the names of the advisors here. Not only this, like we have another advisors too. To name few, we have got George Quinones, who is CEO of Coinomi Wallet. We have got George Sebastio, who is CTO of Huawei Technologies. We have got O Sultan, who is board member of Homeland Security Foundation of America. We have got Jeremy Wade, Moran, Steve Sau. Steve Sau owns one of the biggest gaming company of UAE. His two companies are already listed in Nasdaq. After that, we have got Joel Emery, who runs USA's first SEC registered hedge fund. So these are the people who are advising us. They have experience in the domains, and it is not only that we say they are advising us. Check their LinkedIn profiles. They have mentioned there that they are advising QuickX. Why I am saying this? Because if you will Google, you will find me as an advisor to 10 companies whom I am not advising. But they have put my name over there. If you go and Google them, talking about the finance minister, he came to India. He stayed 10 days there. He saw how we are working. After that, he made a decision that yes, I am going to advise you. Talking about George Sebastio, who is CTO of Huawei Technologies. He knows me from very long. He is from security background, I am from security background. Now he is the CTO of Huawei and holds the complete designation of Huawei. Like everything in technology, whatever happens in Huawei, he is the one who heads it. I was in Dubai recently, 3 days, whole day we spent together. Check his LinkedIn profile. O Sultan. Whenever you write O Sultan on Google, you will see suggestions of Donald Trump. Because he is the one who is handling the complete Muslim community in US, and he is the one who is leading it, and he is the one who is supporting Donald Trump, and all the hate speeches against Hillary Clinton are being given by him. So check profile of any of the advisor. You will see they are not only advising us, they are recommending us too. And these people do not lend their name to any company like this. They do the due diligence first, then only they lend their name to any company. Apart from this, we have got very good South Korean partners. We have got Jason Jung, who is CIO of KCX Exchange. Apart from that, we have got Sanjay Seo, who is the CEO of Paygate and CEO of PayX. So we have already signed an agreement with PayX that in their entire payment network, they are going to use QCX as one of the payment method. So we have already done all these things, and one thing I like to tell you, when we started with QuickX journey, we were just 2. From 2 we became 20. From 20 we became 200. Now we have a global community of more than 80,000 people in more than 20 countries. We can witness people from more than 15 countries sitting here only. So a big round of applause for all the people who have come all the way from different countries in Malaysia to attend this event. Also, when we talk about any project, most of the projects which come, they are just on a paper, known as a white paper. Nothing is physical, nothing is like, which is given to public. And 90% of the ICOs fail just because they talk about technology but they don't understand technology. What if a real estate tycoon comes here and say, okay, I'm gonna bring revolution in blockchain. This is what has happened. Just in the background, what exactly a company is doing, who all are advising them, is the idea feasible? If you see the idea is feasible, then only be the part of that company. And when we talk about giving physical products, check our roadmap. We are one of the few companies in the world who have completed 90% of the roadmap before listing in the exchanges. And not only this, when we talk to people that yes, we are going to list in exchanges, people were skeptical. Okay, is it possible for QuickX to get listed in an exchange? The answer is now yes. We are getting listed in one of the top 3 exchanges of the world in this month. So before I end, I just want to I give you a brief overview how we have traveled across in last few months and how people have shown their love to us. Can you please play the show reel? Before I leave the stage, I just want to ask one question. How many of you want to be the leaders and how many of you want to be the followers? All those who want to be the leaders, give me a cheer. How many of you want to be the leaders? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Once again, big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Dr. Aranaga Sitij. Conference will be quite unique, right?
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be with you here today. I do apologize for not to be able to be there in person, although obviously the hospitality in KL is always amazing. I'm going to be spending the next 15 minutes with you to try to highlight what I consider to be some of the key elements of this upcoming revolution, and to some extent I call it fintech disruption. And obviously QuickX is trying to be part of this fintech disruption. So the key elements that are really part of all this disruption include many elements. They include social media, they include mobile platforms, they include cloud technology, IoT, better customer experience, big data, obviously cybersecurity, and obviously blockchain. And blockchain kind of ties all these elements together, but by itself is not the complete solution. So it's important that any of the elements that are part of this are actually cooperating together to bring the ecosystem that actually sees what you have in front of you. One of the key elements of all this trend is how we reach this new community of users. We have an increasing population. Not everybody is connected necessarily by laptops or other mechanisms. So today, mobile obviously is playing an extremely important aspect of how users are accessing their connectivity, their banking, and their social business. So all these elements are actually making an important change in the demographics of how these solutions play together. One of the most important elements is the advent of artificial intelligence. Today, when we're talking about fintech, artificial intelligence is playing an important role in the area of how we trade and how we offer customer support, how we integrate the functionality by delivering services to the customers, including things like, for example, chatbots or other technologies. Today, users are much more demanding in their user experience. Traditional user interfaces of the past are no longer acceptable. So you need to have a way to integrate your financial services and everything through much better interfaces, whether that interface happens to be a smart card, a chatbot, mobile app, and trying to combine all of these together in a unified way, as better integrated as possible. Since cybersecurity is an important key element, you realize that identification is obviously the key. So if you want to know who you're dealing with, biometrics is one of the key elements of identifying who's actually performing that financial transaction, whether that is face recognition, iris, fingerprint, or others, or a combination of the above. Obviously, blockchain, being a technology of trust, and which is immutability, is delivering the extra element of trust that obviously the internet has not been able to do in either e-banking or e-commerce in the past. All these technologies come together because of the power of computer that is delivered by cloud and new models. So these new models enable you to reach the direct customer in a much new, different way. So you have things like online and offline e-commerce, peer-to-peer, B2B, B2BC, etc. And these fintech technologies, such as the ones that you see in front of you, are enabling this new generation of business models. But it's not about more, it's actually about less. When we move to these new technologies, fintech becomes paperless. So that means everything happens electronically. So you no longer need to have your checkbook or your bank book. Everything is basically being recorded in electronic format and being reflected by the immutability of the blockchain. So less paper is very good. What about things like less way of how you connect? So wireless, what it happens to be Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, very soon 5G, infrared, Bluetooth, GPS, or even to some extent proximity technologies. They are all part of this wireless that enables the user access to be much better. One of the best reflections of this is through contactless technologies, whether it happens to be NFC, Bluetooth, or any variations, including things like, for example, QR code. All these enable a new generation of payment systems that before would have been much more difficult to conduct. This new technology also enables cashless systems. You no longer need to have large amounts of cash with you. So your e-wallet or your virtual wallet enables you to have access to your funds, whether they happen to be in traditional currencies like fiat currencies or new cryptocurrencies, or a combination of the above. So a lot of hybrid technologies here play an important element. You no longer necessarily need to have a card. So you'll have the cardless environment that actually plays an extremely important element, because you'll be able to do cardless payments as well. The traditional banks, as we know it today, are basically disappearing. So you'll have timeless or branchless approach towards accessing this new generation of fintech products. One other key element about this technology is that fintech products become borderless, so you'll be able to access them anywhere in the world and achieve a lot of mobility that otherwise would have been difficult to have. Other elements, frictionless, so you'll be able to do those payments using new IoT devices or wearable devices, biometrics, barcode readers, and so on, that enable even more flexibility. And finally, the traditional banks that we have seen in the past are disappearing, and organizations that are otherwise not seen as banks are really becoming the banks of tomorrow. So this major disruption is being introduced by this new set of technologies. So when we look at things like QuickX, through its roadmap and its existing functionality, is really trying to address all these key elements of the fintech disruption, whether that happens to be artificial intelligence, user experience, biometric integration, blockchain, cloud, and all the less that I talked about, whether it happens to be paperless, wireless, contactless, cashless, cardless, branchless, and so on. You want to be part of this revolution, so it's time for you to get involved and actually participate in the change ahead. So I apologize again once for not being able to be with you today, but I do hope you enjoy the remaining of the day and be ready for the disruption in fintech ahead. Enjoy the day. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. George. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that after two conferences, right, there are a lot of information, a lot of ideas bombarded towards you, right? So you need time to digest. So next, we are going to have a performance for you, right? And this next performance is going to be a drum performance. This is going to be really, really interesting one. So during this time, while we are waiting for our crew to set up the drums over at the stage, let me tell you a little bit about Chinese culture.